government will help you get out of debt. People don't know that. The government will pay your debt off, but you got to have.
Will they?
Yeah, but you got to have a home-based business. See, the government got you in debt, so the government should get you out of debt, because you wouldn't be in debt if they didn't take so much out in tax. You see, when they took all your tax dollars, it automatically puts you in debt, because if you make $50,000 a year and the government takes 18, you now got to live off 32. So now what you do is you try to get back up to 50, so you borrow 18 and then you pay back 24. So the government and banks are in bed together. Does that make sense? So when you figure that out and lower your taxes and your debt, and then your third thing is your expenses, now those three things automatically bring more cash flow in your pocket. Say what they try to do, though, they try to confuse us and have us thinking that you can work your way to wealth.
Yeah.
Work and wealth are not synonymous. Okay, give me some ones in the chat if y'all heard what I just said. Give me a whole bunch of ones. Work and wealth are not synonymous. I know plenty of people that are wealthy that don't work. I know plenty of people that work that are not wealthy. You got to get those three things down first. And the only way to do that is to start a home-based business so you can start playing by the rules of the wealthy. Now, the three things now have to go up. Your cash flow is up automatically because you got those three things down. Kenya, you got to get this. You didn't make an extra dime. What you did was you shifted the money that you already make. What we try to do is we try to go get a part-time job, and people forget 2 jobs is for 2 people. 2 jobs is for 2 people. If the first job didn't make it, you don't go get a second one. You got to change the strategy. Because if you get a second job, all you're going to do is pay more tax. You got to change. Now you're taking away from your family still. So when you get your taxes, debt, and expenses down, you didn't make a dime yet. It's just that your cash flow automatically increased because more money stays with who? With you. Now we got to get your credit scores up so you can stop paying for things 2 and 3 times, right? Then we got to get your investments up so money can start working for you. And all that came because your cash flow is up. So we call it 3 up and 3 down, and we make millionaires doing just that.
That's dope. Talking live to Brian Beane, right now, the founder and CEO of Mentor to Millionaires. Let's talk a little bit about emotional intelligence. Kind of like the relative weight of what is it? Weight,
the relative weight of importance
versus
duration.
Okay.
Yeah. So emotional intelligence is this. Let me just give you an example. I'll use, since we're talking about finances, I'll give you all a good example. Here's what emotional intelligence is. We're about to hit Halloween. That's $1 billion holiday in October. So there's a game that's about to be played. That's $1 billion holiday where we celebrate ghosts and goblins. And the next thing you know, you got to go to the dentist because you gave your kids all this candy. So you're making everybody rich.
I thought you was about to talk about Christmas. You're talking about Halloween.
Yeah, because we're getting to Christmas now.
Right.
See, they get you. They get you ready in October. We can't jump to Christmas because the game begins right now. October 31st, Halloween. Thursday, Brown Thursday. Friday, Black Friday. Monday, Cyber Monday. All that in the middle is Thanksgiving. 24th of December, Christmas Eve. 25th, Christmas. 31st, New Year's Eve. 1st, New Year's. February 14th, Valentine's. March, spring break. April, Easter. May, Mother's Day. June, Father's Day. July, 4th of July. August, back to school. September, Labor Day. October, Halloween.
It's so every month.
Every month. You went straight to Thanksgiving. I got to show you that the game is being played all year long. Emotional intelligence is this. I'm not going to let capitalism keep me in a vicious cycle of buying things every month when I don't have enough money in my investment account to bring me my current lifestyle. See, one day you're not going to want to have to work. So what you got to do is say, wait a minute, why am I giving big business all my money? Why am I giving the government all my money? And why am I giving the banks all my money? And I could be a millionaire if I just had the money I was giving them. Wealthy people call it lost opportunity costs. When you calculate every dime you gave away trying to fool around with these holidays, and Kenya, I'm not being a Grinch. I'm just saying your assets should buy your toys.
No doubt. I agree.
I got my toys. Don't get me wrong. I got 7 cars and 4 of them are classics. I got my toys. I got the 20 acres we're going to talk about. I got a boat. I got all that cool stuff, the lake or the pond and all that. But my assets purchased it. So emotional intelligence is the ability to pay yourself first. Pay yourself first so you can live the rest of your life off your residuals.
Say that again. Pay yourself when?
First. You did the money. I don't know. I mean, you did the work. I don't know why we get paid last. Yeah. People say I get paid Friday. I said, no, your bills get paid Friday.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Brian Beane live with us right now. Bro, you need your own TV show, man. When are we going to get a TV show, bro? Because I'm telling you, this right here, you are dropping gems, and you are our brother doing it too. Let me tell you something. It's coming for you, bro. I already see it.
Well, first, I got an organization that's giving me my own TV show on their network. So it's going to roll out probably before the end of the year. I will have my own TV show. I haven't told a lot of people that, but you heard it here first on Everybody Mad Live podcast. I got my own television show coming on a internet network, which now is more popular than TV, powerful than TV.
It really is.
And then, Ken, you've been out to Beane Acres, man. I'm about to launch Pondcast. I'm gonna be the first person in the country to launch the Pondcast at Beane Acres. So I'm gonna show people how to formulate, market, and monetize their life story. We're gonna turn trials and tribulations into celebrations. So you guys got to come out to the pond, be part of my Pondcast, and I'm gonna show you how to make money with your own life story. So look out for the TV show and the Pondcast in the next 90 days.
No doubt. We're getting the exclusive right now. So
you're getting the exclusive.
Yes. Next thing we definitely want to touch upon is something that I saw on your on Instagram. To generate wealth, you must stop creating your own fires. Beane, what do you mean by that, bro?
Yeah. So a lot of people create their own fires, right? So here's what they do. To distract yourself from staying focused, it's called self-sabotage. To distract yourself from staying focused, what we do is we wake up every day and our goals and dreams are huge, right? But our work ethic is small. So because we have a small work ethic, but we want everything in life, what we do is we wake up every day and we put out fires. Girl, today I had to help such and such. Because, she called me and her baby couldn't get home from school, so I had to pick him up. Now, I got to go to this wedding in 2 years, but we fitting everybody, the wedding in 2 years now, but we fitting everybody for their dress size and stuff now, and we're going to start rehearsing at the end of the month. And I'm also queen of the neighborhood committee, and then I'm chapter board member at church. And then, I'm director of the choir. And then what we do is we wrap ourselves up in all of these responsibilities, and we wonder why we're struggling financially. I'm not saying church is not good. I'm not saying don't be PTA parent. I'm not saying don't coach your children. I did all of that. But I made sure that getting money out the way was just as important as being my son's coach. I made sure that getting money out the way was just as important as community involvement. What we try to do in this country is we act like money is a bad thing. No, the worship of money is a bad thing. Yeah. As long as you're not hurting nobody and stepping on nobody and start believing that money is more important than life itself, it's not a bad thing. I've never seen a dollar bill hurt anybody. So I tell people all the time, dollar bill don't just jump out and say, give me your card. You know what I mean?
Okay, right.
So I tell people all the time, once we get money out the way, we can really start enjoying this thing called life. Now, what was your question again? Did I answer it?
Yeah, that was it. So, the whole thing about generating wealth, you must stop creating your own fires.
Yeah, that's right. That's what it was. So, yeah, stop. Like I tell people all the time, people's plates are so full these days that they don't know where to begin, and that's why they're starving. Now, I want you to hear what I just said. People's plates are so full these days that they don't know where to begin, and that's why they're starving. So, you ever seen a plate, Ken, you're like full of food. You're like, I don't know if I want to start with the macaroni and cheese or the vegetables, or, do I want to drink first, or do I want to start with the barbecue chicken? Your plate's
overwhelmed.
You're overwhelmed. So that's why confused people do absolutely nothing. So the only thing we can do is sabotage our success and go out and create our own fires so to distract us from what we really need to do, so we can keep making excuses about why we're not getting it done.
Wow. Kayla said that's a bar right there. That preach. And all right, so let's talk about me. Let's make the next 5 minutes about me, because what you just said is exactly me. Not that I can't hold it, but all right. So here's my life, Brian. All right. So I am professionally. So my professional job, because I'm a corporatepreneur. My professional job is I'm the corporate director of partnerships and member services at the Wright Museum, the Charles Wright African American Museum. So that's my corporate job.
Nice.
That's what brings in the money. Nice. I also am a leader in my fraternity. I also do stuff, and I also have a business, a marketing agency that does. I have about 5 consistent clients who I'm always kind of doing work for, and most of the stuff is me. So when you said putting out fires and it's just running from thing to thing or whatever, how can I get out of that rut without releasing what I'm doing, but like, how is that something what you help people learn how to do? Like you want to do so many things and you have so many interests, which is what I do, but I don't know where to really kind of center my focuses on. And I want to retire by the age of 45 because I've said that like several times on the show. So I got 2 years, Brian. How can you help me in 2 years?
Yeah.
Shut up, Kenny. Shut up. Shut up.
I thought that you were 50.
That's why his mic went out.
Exactly, because he lied. Help me get out of my 2 year. Like, what would you do for like someone like me? Like, what sort of plan would you tell me to start doing?
Yeah. Well, first of all, we have to set priorities, right? We have to set priorities. So what we have to ask ourselves is, what is the value of my time right now? Everybody give me some tools in the chat if you feel that, right? What is the value of my time right now? So you just said the most important thing. I want to retire by the time I'm 45. Now, here's what people miss it. If you are active in your fraternity, that's fine. But, and your frat might hate me for this, but I'm helping you with your goals. It's nothing wrong with shelving some of that involvement for 2 years so you can give back to the fraternity for the rest of your life. See, what you're trying to do is you're trying to retire, but you're trying to retire balanced. Yeah. See, you're trying to retire, but you're doing it on a schedule that's not going to allow you to do it in the next 2 years. That's just fact. What you have to do is become really, 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 really successful at one thing first. And that's what I did. I became really successful at network marketing first. I've been to the top of 9 compensation plans. I've earned residual income and retired 24 years ago when I was 22. So I got known for network marketing. Then I started my training company. Now I'm about to launch my TV show. Now I'm about to launch my podcast. Now I have the 20 acres. So now everything else brings me money because I was really good at something first. If you want to retire in 2 years, and I'll talk about this when we get to some investment strategies, the best investment is you. Say I do like this. Point to yourself. Okay. The best.
Let me make it full screen.
Right. There you go. There you go. The best investment is you. So if the best investment is you, you got 2 kinds of equity, time and money. You got to put your time and money into you. Then once we get you off the job by doubling what your job pays you, now you can go back to the frat and say, look at what I've accomplished. You don't have to leave everybody alone. You just got to bring the people who want to come with you. My advice to you is put more of a priority on that business. Okay, let me ask you this. Are you satisfied with what the 5 clients, not satisfied, but are you happy or content with what the 5 clients that you service? Are you happy with what they bring you financially?
I am, but like I think I do need to find some balance so that I can be able to like really, really devote what I want to be able to devote to both sides. So what a lot of what you're saying right now is speaking to me because like a lot is going well, but like there's like I'm afraid that it's like too much. Like I'm actually turning down clients, and like I hate to turn down money.
That's because you're in the S quadrant. So when you're self-employed, the more successful you become, that's what the S stands for, right? When you're self-employed, the more successful you become, the worse it gets. So you can't even service everybody, or if you try, the quality of your work starts to go down. So what you need to do, you're going to get that breaking point where you have to find an understudy. Like right now, I'm hiring, right? I got some people I'm looking at right now to hire.
I've been saying that for a month.
Yeah. You got to hire some people. So imagine if you turn 5 clients into 20. Only you know what that revenue would bring, but you can't tell me that the profits from having 20 clients can't pay for an understudy that you're grooming in the business. Now you got your freedom coming. Now you got more money coming, but most of us are afraid to let go because we're afraid that only I can do this. You know what I'm saying? But if you're in something where only you can do it, then we need to switch that up and learn how to automate it or find a team that can do it for you.
Wow.
Yep.
Joined by Brian Beane right now. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm saying that's the only way you're gonna retire in 2 years. You got to have leverage. You got to have leverage. Most people try to retire, but you can't do it by yourself.
That kind of goes back to one of the things I've always heard about good leaders. Like good leaders always find a succession plan. Like you never want to kind of have that leadership in a vacuum. And I think that fits a lot for corporations and companies and organizations. You never want to be the end all be all of everything. Like you want something. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. When you go to work every day, the person that is that business, or I won't call him your boss because I'm leaving that term, but the person that hired you, HR, that business, they're leveraging you. You see what I'm saying? Because you're there doing a certain thing that brings a certain amount of revenue, so they don't have to be there at certain times. You have to do that same thing in your business. Hire a certain person that'll bring in a certain amount of revenue so you don't have to be there at certain times. If not, you can forget retirement in 2 years because your business is going to bring you enough money to make investments as well that'll pay you capital gains and dividends. Now, that's when you start creating wealth for yourself. When the money that you're making makes more money than you ever can working. That's when you get wealthy.
I will say that like my investment strategy did kind of keep me over the pandemic, like when some of the clients kind of went down. So like, I do think that that's an important thing for us to talk about, the investments. Well, actually, like, do you want to talk about that now?
It's up to you guys. Yeah. What you got?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. So five investment considerations in your opinion.
Yeah, so I'm not a tax advisor. Just so you know, I'm not a financial advisor. I always tell people I'm not giving you investment advice. I got to throw that disclaimer out there. I'm not allowed to sell or advise or recommend, but I can educate. I'm not licensed. I choose not.
You're doing that today, man.
Right. So here's the
learning.
So here's the reality. There are 4 quadrants when it comes to investing. You got something for the commoner. You got something for the conservative. You got something for the rich. And you got something for the wealthy. All the things that I invest in are on the rich and wealthy side. Everything that most people invest in are on the commoner or conservative side. Here's what a commoner does. A commoner puts their money in checking account, savings account, money market, CD. In other words, you had a banker who works a job tell you that you need to open up a checking account with bounce protection, which has a savings account. And oh, by the way, we have a CD. And oh, by the way, we have a money market account that pays 0.1% instead of 0%. Nothing. So what most of us do, Kenya, we put our money in what's called cash equivalents. Those are called cash equivalents. All right. That's not a recommendation of mine. Do I have a checking account? Yes. Do I have a savings account? Yes. But what's the purpose of it? Only to have auto drafts come out that pay my bills. That's it.
Right.
I only got a checking account, so I won't have no cash on me. If you think a checking account and savings account is where your investment should lie, then you need to take my course. Okay. Number 2, the conservative people invest in bonds, right? You know bonds by 3 things: the maturity date, the face amount, and the interest rate. The maturity date, the face amount, and the interest rate. How do you know a bond? Because a bond, the name of the bond tells you what you're investing in. You got a corporate bond, you're investing in corporations. If you got a municipal bond, you're investing in accounting. If you got a mortgage bond, you're investing in mortgages. The name of the bond tells you what you're investing in. So when you have a bond, you're in the borrowing business, but you're the lender, but it don't pay a whole lot of interest at all. Okay. Now that's the quadrants 1 and 2. I tell people the poor or common and conservative invest in checking account, savings account, and bonds, because those are products that you were sold. Wealthy people, rich and wealthy people invest in stocks, preferably pre-IPO and IPO. I'm not saying you can't get wealth in the secondary market. The secondary market is when you see the ticker going across the bottom of your screen that everybody watches, green, up, red, down. That's the secondary market. By the time it hits the ticker, most people are already billionaires and millionaires. You're buying it at a higher value by the time it hits the ticker. Write this down. Your first goal should be to become what's called an accredited investor. That's everybody's first goal watching this podcast right now. Become an accredited investor, $250,000 a year, or be a millionaire, not including your home. That's the definition of an accredited investor. Now, Sarah, why is that important? Because now brokerage firms can let you in on things that non-accredited people can't get in on. So Kenya, by law, a broker can't even call you and let you know about IPO and pre-IPO and certain investments if you're not accredited. Now, let me hurt your feelings real quick. Everybody, don't kill me for this, but here's the truth, Kenya. What they want you to believe is that they're protecting you. Hey, listen, grandma, don't put in your hard-earned savings. Grandpa, you can't get in on IPO and pre-IPO because you're not a millionaire and you don't make $250,000 a year. These things are risky. Well, let me ask you a question. If grandma and grandpa can't get in and the average person can't get in, then what you're really saying is poor people can't play. But they hide it behind you have to be accredited because it's risky. So let me make sure I understand. I can't get the stock when it's $2, but I can buy it when it's $84. See, when the ticker goes across the bottom of the screen, grandma can buy it then. You understand? They're not worried about her savings when it's $84 and then it jump up to 85 and grandma made $1 per share and she can't afford but 2 shares.
Right.
So her investment went up by $2. But grandma, so let me make sure I got it. Grandma can't get in the game when it's $2 because it's too risky, but it's not too risky when it's $84. Got it. Right. So everybody has to see the game they play. So everybody has to be what's called accredited to get certain calls from certain brokers to get in on certain deals to $250,000 a year annually, or $1 millionaire, not including home. Now the doors open to some serious investments.
Okay. So we're talking live to Brian Beane right now on the Everybody Mad Live podcast. So we're talking about investments. So is this just for like stocks, or are we kind of applying that to like some of the newer trading opportunities like crypto and that sort of thing?
Well, that's why crypto was created. So I'm gonna give you, and we're gonna talk about crypto. I'm gonna get to the what I just talked about was IPO and pre-IPO. That's in the stock game, right? Now, again, nothing wrong with the secondary market. And what I tell people is this: shop or invest where you buy. There's no reason you have Air Jordans and you don't have no Nike stock.
I say that all the time.
How you got a PlayStation? How you got a PlayStation 3, 4, and 5, and you're not investing in Sony?
How you got internet and don't have Comcast or something? Right.
So invest where you shop. You obviously believe in it enough to be a consumer. Why don't you believe in it enough to have some stock in it? But the 5 investment considerations are in what's called the 4th quadrant. That's the wealthy quadrant. See, everything else, guys, is only valuable because we trust it. In other words, I give you this dollar and you'll take it because what? You can do something with it, but it's really just paper. Does that make sense? You can take a dollar bill. If everybody stopped believing in it, then your dollar's worth what? Worth nothing. The only thing that makes this dollar valuable is your belief that somebody will take it, right? But this wealth quadrant, real estate, tangible, commodities, tangible, collectibles, tangible, fine art, tangible, oil, tangible, gold, tangible, real estate, tangible, your business, tangible. See, even stocks and bonds and the dollar is paper. It has to have trust attached to it. That's why it has "In God We Trust" on it. But real estate, gold, cattle, fine arts, collectibles. People wonder why I have so many cars. I told you 4 of them are classics. A 58, a 61 Bentley, a 58 Ford convertible Thunderbird, a 66 Mustang. These things every year, Kenya, I can't even drive them without somebody pulling up. I give you cash right now. Now, when I'm in my BMW, don't nobody pull up and say, hey, how much you want for it? Right. You let me pull that 61 Bentley out, I can't even get up the street. You see, because it's a collectible. So the investment and considerations should all be in the wealth quadrant. They're called real assets. Now, here's what crypto did. Crypto showed people and showing the world that we really have the power, because somebody came along with some technology and said, this coin is valuable because we say so. See, it's all your belief. Oh, better yet, this coin is also valuable because we say so. Oh, by the way, I got another coin that's valuable because we say so. And when the blockchain was invented, now those transactions can happen without the banks and government having to say anything. Yep. Now watch what happened. Now they're trying to get in on it.
Of course. Yeah, they're trying to regulate it now.
They're trying to regulate it. Don't go out here and lose your shirt, because there's some horrible ones out there too. But I tell people all the time, there's a shift happening right up under our nose where governments are now getting in on something that the people created. So what does that tell you? The people have always had the power. We give our power up. And that's why I wake up every day, Kenya, and I do conference calls, and I do webinars, and I do conferences like the clip you showed, Game Changer, where I bring people together and show you just how powerful you are if you would just stop giving your money away. You gotta, you're taught at an early age, give your money away. They catch you when you're most vulnerable. In college, here's a credit card, here's a student loan. I work with clients we put your information in our software, and I have a staff of experts, right? I don't do this personally. Our company has a staff of experts. You put your information in, it'll tell you you'll be out of debt in 833 years because of your student loans.
833?
833 years you'll be out of debt. We give them a plan. We raise their credit score. We flip the algorithm around. We show them some real assets. They'll be out of debt in 7 years if they go with the plan that our experts put them on and the real assets that we show you: land, real estate, private reserve accounts, how to become your own bank. These are things I teach every single day. And you know, most people won't listen.
I was going to ask you about that, man. I'm like, you got 35,000 subscribers on YouTube. And obviously, like, you're doing conferences and like you're speaking to people. You have your clients that you have now. I want to know, like, what's the most hard-headedest thing that you try and beat through people's head that they still don't get?
Let me tell you what it is. I'm gonna tell you the reason people don't get it, why they're so hard-headed. Because as you get older, you have to do what's called, you have to go through what's called admission. Okay, admission. And what admission means, and it's not a bad thing, but I have to show people that what you've been thinking for the past 30 years was wrong. So what people would rather do, Kenya, they rather stand on wrong. I got a 401k. You don't even know 401k was invented in like the 80s and 90s. It's not old at all, okay? You don't even know the rule of 72, that you should get double-digit returns. You don't even know that your credit card, a $5,000 balance, the bank will make $6,000. You will pay back 11 because you went on a trip to Disney World 10 years ago and you paid for that trip 2 and 3 times. You don't even know. You don't even know that your house and your social security number or your apartment, you were born a sole proprietor. So I wake up every day and I got to fight the big four. I got to fight the government, what they teaching you. I got to fight the banks and what they teaching you. I got to fight big business and what the commercial's showing you. And I got to fight inflation, which is the cost of living going up every day. And with COVID, we're right now in what's called hyperinflation, right? Which is more dangerous than inflation because of COVID. So I got to fight, to answer your question, I got to fight the big four. And the hardest thing about my business is getting you to see that it's not your fault. You just were taught something for 20 years that benefited somebody else.
Yeah.
Now, it is your fault if now you know better and you still look at me and go, he don't know what he's talking about. You see what I'm saying? He don't know what he's talking about. I'm going to pay high taxes and get a refund. I'm going to stay in debt and pay for things 2 and 3 times. I'm not going to worry about inflation because the prices are getting higher. So that means your value, your dollar's dropping. And I'm not going to worry about big business because I'm going to get my kids something for Christmas. They deserve it. I understand all of that. But why don't you invest in yourself first so you can wipe out all 4 of those things at the same time?
No doubt. Joined by Brian Beane live right now on the Everybody Mad Live podcast. Hey, Beane, I got a question for you, man. I have been in a debate with one of my friends about whether or not they should lease or buy a car. I have an opinion on that, and I say buy, but they want to stick to the lease. Well, you tell me, because you're the professional. Should people lease or buy their car?
That's a great question, man. Honestly, the word buy is subjective because I don't believe in buying new cars. See, what people have to remember, there's always some wealthy person, really wealthy, who wants to get a new car every year. So you're supposed to eat his depreciation. So let's think about this for a minute. If I get a 2021 and the 2022 comes out, automatically my 2021 is old. Well, all they did, y'all, was change the blinker. It's yellow now instead of red. That's all they did was put a new reflector.
That's it.
You pull up the 2 cars side by side. Okay, you got the 22. I'm rocking my 21. And I got it for way less because of your 22. So when we say buy a car, I honestly believe that people should purchase with cash what they can afford. But big business got you thinking that if you drive that Honda Civic, your friends got you thinking that you look like a scrub in your Honda Civic. See, Kenya, I drove a Toyota
Players Club.
Yeah, I drove a Toyota Corolla and borrowed my friend's Honda for 5 years. But guess what? Many years later, I had the convertible Porsche. I had a black one. I had the white one. I'd had the exotic toys, and I got exotic toys now. But I bought cars that I could afford with cash. Both a lease and a purchase, if they're new, have a note. And anytime you have a note, the bank is getting interest. And anytime the bank is getting interest, they're making money off your money. Anytime somebody making money off your money, they can come back and get your stuff. So a lease argument would be, well, I'm not going to own the car anyway. So guess what? Why am I trying to pay it off? I get the argument of a lease person. I'm gonna get rid of it every single year. I can ball out of control, lease it, and give it back. I get the argument. Depends on what your priorities are. A car note person says, well, why would you lease a car and you'll never ever own it? I say, why don't you get something that you can afford to pay cash for and drive that and forget what everybody say? Because both a lease and a lease and a note have a payment attached to them. So that might be a little twist, but I say neither. I say go save up your money and buy a car with cash, but you don't want to do that because then you can't drive your little funky Lexus.
That's real.
Let me tell you something, Kenya. Just because you can afford the car note doesn't mean you can afford the car. See, everybody can afford the note. 382, 519, 481. But let me mess everybody up. Do you know if you took 519 and instead of giving it to Lexus, you put that in an interest-bearing account, getting 9, 10, 12%. I hope the Lexus that you're going to get rid of anyway was worth it for them 4 or 5 years when you could have had $200,000.
Wow. Old funky Lexus.
But you got old funky Lexus. See? Right. So what people don't realize is called the future value of money. Nothing wrong with toys. I'm not being a hypocrite. But I built my business first, and I went ahead and just drove what I could afford. Until now, I can afford pretty much any car I want. So until my son has $1 million in his investment account, what am I doing riding around with a car note? Yeah. That's just me.
Bruh, you were dropped. I mean, I'm with you 100%. I'm with you 100%.
We have to learn the future value of money.
Have to. Definitely have to. One more thing, too. I got a whole bunch of questions. I know we're running over time. I do, too. But go
hey, man, that just means I got to come back for episode 75. That's all.
I know. I got one more question. Yeah. About when, especially that you see this in the Black community a lot, when someone loses a loved one and then they inherit a whole bunch of money. What do you recommend people do with that lump sum? Because I have friends that say, well, I'm going to try to open up Black folks good for opening up a club. We always want to open up a nightclub. We always want to open up a little wing joint. Shouts out to the ATL. But I mean, what's the smartest thing to do if you're getting a lump sum of about $50,000 to $100,000 for some? Some people might be 20 to 30. What should people do when they inherit money from a loved one's death?
Well, see, that question requires a lot more information. I know what you're asking, but the answer, man, honestly, is it depends. It depends on their current situation. If they've been investing for quite some time and their investment strategy is rock solid, then they should take that money and invest in private business and add private business to their portfolio. If they have not been investing for quite some time, then the worst thing they can do is start a private business, because now you don't have no emergency fund. You don't have no military emergency fund. You don't have what's called a true emergency fund. You have no investment account. So let me give you an example. Let me just say this real quick. You need to do 4 things. 1, make sure you have a military emergency. A military emergency is $3,000 cash that you can touch at all times. Everybody watching this podcast should have a military emergency. $3,000 cash you can touch at all times. There's not a lot of small problems that you can't handle with $3 grand. Refrigerator, $3 grand. Compressor, AC unit, $3 grand. Furnace, $3 grand. Hot water heater, $3 grand. Transmission in your car, $3 grand. Huh?
Baby mama, $3 grand.
Baby mama, $1,500. No, I'm just joking. $3 grand. Right? So you got $3 grand that you can touch at all times. Your true emergency is your lifestyle multiplied by 6. So all your expenses times 6 is a true emergency. I recommend that you put your true emergency in some type of mutual fund, because you can have access to it within 48 to 72 hours into a mutual fund. That's better than checking, because at least you're getting a higher rate of return, but you can get it. It's not in your 401k where they hit you over the head if you touch it. You see what I'm saying? It's not in your investment account where they hit you over your head, or your retirement account your IRA if you touch it. Put it in a nice mutual fund, get a higher rate of return than 1%, but 6 months of your lifestyle, your expenses multiplied by 6, right? Now you need an investment account of some type. You need to be lending these corporations money. That's all an investment account is, right? So when you have a mutual fund, you can click on the word composition. It's public information. T. Rowe Price, Vanguard, all these companies have mutual funds. You click on composition, you see Nike in there. You see Walmart in there, right? You see Amazon in there. All these billion-dollar companies y'all look up to, they borrowing money from you. Y'all ain't ready for me, man. I'll give y'all my number to text me for more information. But y'all, if you text, just text "get mad," okay, to 678-632-3914. Get mad.
Wow.
And I'll show everybody.
I'll put it up on the screen.
Get mad. That means they came from y'all show. Get mad, right? 678-632-3914.
678-3.
678-632.
632.
3914. And I'll show everybody how our experts help them with all this stuff, right? And you got to have an investment account, right? And then finally, you need to have a private business. So if I get a lump sum of money, I'm gonna make sure, if nothing else, I have my own private business. I'm not gonna take my whole 50,000 and put it in the stock market, because then I just took my inheritance and then told somebody else that their business was more valuable than mine.
Right.
You see, I'm a big proponent in a home-based business where you invest in yourself, and I can show everybody how to do that. And I can show, we have the whole staff and different companies to help you market that. As a speaker and trainer, I help you understand that, and I have conferences every 3 months and 4 months to help you believe that. So we have a whole community and a whole support system that will sweep you into a home-based business where we educate people on the power of it, and then show you how to make money every day, every week, every month, and every quarter. Every day. Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about, well, most of our discussion has been about personal finance and that sort of thing, but you also do services to a lot of corporations who need some help because they've kind of gotten stuck in their presentation and that sort of thing.
Yeah, before COVID. So I own a training series called Instincts. And Instincts is where I take animals, the jaguar, the brown bear, the black bear, the ant, the honeybee, ducks, believe it or not, was my most recent animal. The jaguar. People think the lion is the king of the jungle. It's really the jaguar. A lion don't want to see no parts of no jaguar ever, at all.
Really?
At all. Do your research. The rhino. A jaguar will tear a lion to shreds. That's why lions hunt in packs. They need each other. A jaguar don't need no help at all. A jaguar can crush your skull, can crush bones with his jaw capacity.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So my whole point is I teach these animal instincts and how animals survive out in the wild. So companies will hire me to come in. I've trained for AFLAC. I've trained for government agencies, the Adjudication Review Board, lawyers in five different states hire me to come in and train twice a year. The government as well. So I teach these philosophies that animals use in their day-to-day life to survive, and how if you adopted that same philosophy, how you can survive. How a silverback gorilla deals with the stress of having its own children trying to kill him, right? How a hummingbird never visits the same flower twice because it knows what flowers it's already visited. Never visit flowers that have no nectar.
Okay.
In other words, you need to stop working with people that have no energy.
No.
See, I convert these things, right? A rhino has birds on his back. They're his companions to pick off the parasites that's leeching off you. Who are the parasites in your life, and who are the birds you need to have that's got your back? You got to differentiate between the parasites and the birds. You understand? I mean, a jaguar literally has one species. The same jaguar in Brazil is the same jaguar you will see in Argentina. Why? Because it never ever changed its DNA. What that means is we all came together and treated each other with the same love and respect and acted like one. How much further could this world be if we were like the jaguar, who stayed the same? I don't mean you don't need to change, but stayed the same as far as its ability to adapt, but stay true to itself.
Yeah.
You see, a cheetah has a long tail because it changes direction. Are you stuck in one spot, or are you willing to change to get the things that you want? So I got like 18 animals that I train on, and I teach people how to get their mind right, and money comes easy.
Wow. So like Christy said, y'all ain't ready for being they ain't ready, man. You've been dropping dimes. So like we intended to just talk to you for about 20 minutes, and like the whole show was just in. But I appreciate it because
No, not at all.
No. You gotta, like we want to keep this going.
Yeah, we definitely do. Well, let's talk, man. Congratulations on Beane Acres. Tell everybody about your latest acquisition, Beane Acres.
Man, check y'all out. Y'all got the footage. Look at you, Kenya. Okay, I see you.
This is how we do, brother.
This is how y'all roll, man. Hey, y'all got to come to the pondcast. So you guys saw that pond in the back. I was blessed enough to purchase 20 acres. My neighbor is Ludacris. If that thing keep going, y'all will see Ludacris mansion over there in a second. That's definitely not it. I renovated that house. So you guys can come and stay in a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, 120 acres. That house looks totally different now. This is, oh man, it's back in the day before we changed it up. And we have 4-wheeler trails. We have bass, brim, catfish, and crappie. We have nature trails that you can walk. Of course, you can fish. Oh, there you go. Now you're showing the big boys around me, right? That's a 26,000 square foot mansion. An NFL player owns that to my right. Ludacris is in my backyard. Denzel Washington's son lives across the street. And I'm building my dream home right there in the middle of those 4 giants. Kind of keeps me humble. So until then, I'm renting the house out for corporate retreats. If you guys just want to get away for the winter, it's been it's been gutted and revamped. You can go back there and fish. We're doing themes, right? We're gonna have I have 3 dating stations where you can sit in the swing and the water is facing you and you can be with your boo. Y'all bring your food out there, and I got Bluetooth and all the trees. I have 3 stations that you can rent out. You can rent the house out itself. I mean, you name it. We got NFL football night. We got the big blow up Jumbotron screen. We got drive-in movie night where you can pull in the back. Kenya, I had over 100 people there this past Saturday, and a lot of them didn't even see each other. They all parked in the front yard.
Wow.
100 people parked in the front yard, and nobody had to say, who in the Honda? We need you to somebody find a person in the Honda. 100 people pulled in and 100 people pulled out, and a lot of them didn't even see each other at the same time.
Oh, wow. That's insane. I had the opportunity to check out Beane Acres, invited out there. It was amazing, bro. You know, just to see everything, just to trust me, people. If you're in the Atlanta area, all the people that are watching us, anytime you come to Atlanta, you got to come out to Beane Acres. It is an experience. We were on the 4-wheelers. It was so much fun, man. Truly an experience, brother.
Yeah, man. I got 2 more trails since you came, Kenya. I can't take everybody on the 4-wheelers because everybody can't handle it. But once I saw that you did a good job on the elementary track, now I got to come back and show you the PhD, then the master's and PhD track. So yeah, everybody can't ride the 4-wheelers, but everybody can fish. I'm opening up. I'll have a tree house in a year or so where you can rent the tree house out as well. I'll have glamping stations. Y'all know about glamping?
Oh,
glamping,
yeah.
Glorified camping, right? I'll have fundraisers for battered and abused women. I'm really involved in the vintage car community with the cars and stuff that I have. They attract a lot of attention. And when you see 20 or 30 of us in the front yard, we're going to do fundraisers. And I'm developing mentor programs. I just talked to one of my former principals who now is over all of Fulton County security here in Atlanta. So we're going to teach kids how to come out and have different life skills. We're going to sponsor certain schools in the community and teach the kids agriculture. I'm gonna have a petting zoo. I'm not responsible for the animals, but if you want to bring the kids, we'll have animals out there that they can learn from and feed. I mean, 20 acres, bro. It ain't the biggest thing in the world, but it's more than you can. It's like I own my own park. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, definitely, truly, we are definitely proud of you. Before you leave, tell everybody. I want you to leave everybody with something. Success. Everybody wants success, but what's keeping people from obtaining success, in your opinion, Brian Beane?
One thing, man. One thing is keeping people from obtaining success, and it's your past. It's your past. Certain people said certain things to you, and I teach this ironically with the duck, right? It's called sublimation. A baby duck mimics the first thing it sees. The first thing it encounters, it mimics. So hopefully that's his mother. It's called sublimation. So what happens is somebody said something to you when you were little and you don't know it, but you're still holding on to it. And it took me therapy to understand this. I went to a therapist to understand why I was having certain thoughts. And I got to a point where I was about to knock a few people out and it started to manifest itself. So I had to go to therapy to say, wait a minute, I'm the most positive person I know. Why am I about to choke this dude? You know what I mean? So it was some 2 business deals where I felt like people were screwing me. And when I went to therapy and started unveiling, because that's what life is about, removing veils and seeing why you think the way you think, Your past is a direct reflection of where you are today. Your future is a direct reflection of where you are now. So if you know for a fact that your past, where you are today is because of your past, and where you'll be tomorrow is because of your current situation, then really all that matters is now. Think about it. I'll end with this. I tell people, tomorrow you'll be calling today yesterday. Got it?
Yeah.
Yesterday, you were calling today tomorrow. So if yesterday, today was tomorrow, and tomorrow, today will be called yesterday, really there is no yesterday and there is no tomorrow. You are where you are today because of decisions you made in your past, and you're going to be where you're going to be tomorrow because of decisions you make today. So really today is all that matters, but we live in our past. So God made your windshield bigger than your rear view for a reason. But most people drive looking through the rearview mirror, and that's why they wreck.
Wow.
You're supposed to be
right there.
Yeah, you're supposed to be looking forward. So your biggest mistake is your past still controlling you. Things that people said to you, your own self-sabotaging, your limiting beliefs, your lack of vision. I never had money, so I'm never gonna have money. If God meant me to have money, then I would have some money. See, all of that self-talk, it wasn't until I changed my circle that my life went through the ceiling. I would not have owned 20 acres hanging with the folks I was hanging around before. I ain't even started thinking about 20 acres till I saw somebody that got 300. You see what I'm saying? So it's all perspective.
Wow. Again, this is Brian Beane. Brother, we really appreciate your time, man. We're not going to hold you up. Tell everybody how they can get in contact with you.
Wow. Yes. Brian Beane. And let me tell you, he did much better, I think, without doing the home-based business presentation. He dropped and see, this is what we get in private when we are part of the home-based business and we go to the conferences that he holds. This is our what we get in private. If you can see my big check at the back, it has his name on it, right? Brian M. Beane. And so this is why I tell people that they overlook having access to people. Right? They look at the home-based business, and the first thing that comes to as he said, poor people can't play a rich and wealthy game. One of the first, I had my allergic to broke shirt on, like Brian had his on. And one of the things that a poor person's mentality say when you introduce them to the home-based business is, I'm not good at recruiting, right? When it is so much bigger than recruiting. It is so much. I even have my trophies in the background that I got for my success in the business. It is so much bigger than recruiting when you're able to go on his property, when you're able to physically touch him, when you're able to hear the behind the scenes. I'm gonna text him. When you're able to text him and he responds and he know you by name. I'm gonna text him after this and say, man, Brian dropped some game for real on this podcast, and it just shows you that his elevation and growth is going. You know, when he's in a position where he's getting interviewed versus doing presentations to try to get people to enroll in the home-based business to see the vision that we are in, the extra digit movement, right? And I'm in the process of getting a t-shirt design and trademark that says this, because the extra digit movement is his movement, in collaboration and connection with MWR. And I took a picture of this. It's 2 t-shirts designed that I'm going to get. But I took a picture of this because I saw this at the hotel, in the hotel lobby that we were at. Had a conference this weekend, and the hotel says to connect, right? Collaborate and celebrate, right? The first thing I thought about was that 1CCC logo. So whether you are watching this live or in the replay, I want you to put connect, right? Collaborate, and then you celebrate. You celebrate success. Connect, collaborate, and then celebrate. And oftentimes, as I told people, as Bitcoin, for example, hit is an all-time high yesterday, and people are all so big that I flip Bitcoin, I forex, I traded. One of the things, because I was taking notes when Brian was talking, and I'm glad I went live stream. I'm gonna go and rewatch this video, right? More than one time, right? You can't get everything in one take. You have to revisit and reset. This is one of the things that I said on stage once I received my awards and trophy, that we're not just doing a great reset of the economic system or the economy. You have to consistently reset your mind. You have to consistently um, reset your mind. The Bible says to be ye transformed, right? By the renewing of your mind. Now, Brian loves animals like I love numbers or numerology. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. If you are the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. If you don't have capacity to be around millionaires, you will always be broke. As Brian said, that it took him seeing 300 acres of land to manifest, right? His 20 acres. You got to always, as another conference that I attended says, you have to believe big, right? You have to believe big. And oftentimes, as Les Brown say, it's not the problem that people aim too high and miss. Was it Les Brown or Jim Rohn? Right? One of them, right? Everybody in this world uses somebody else as a reference or a quote. But you aim too low and you actually hit it. You aim too low. You have to believe big, and you have to surround yourself around people that take you out of your comfort level, take you out of your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is your enemy. Another thing he brought out, that rich and wealthy people do not use banks. He said banks pay no interest, right? He said you have to know the four quadrants of the commender, conservators. He said those are the ones that you get little interest rates. You investing in bonds and things of that nature. And commenders get no interest rate on their money, meaning their money is never working for them. Right? I love that. Renew, relearn, and reset. Romans 12:12. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And then, oh my God, wasn't that good what he brought out about the hummingbird? Right? Wasn't that good? That the hummingbird never enter the same flower twice once it loses its nectar. Let me write that down. See, Medea will put it this way. No, it wasn't Medea. I take that back. It was not Medea, right? It was not Tyler Perry. It was the late great Maya Angelou, right? Maya Angelou says that when people show you who they really are the first time, you believe that. You believe them. Believe them. When they show you who they are the first time, believe them. A hummingbird never enters the same flower twice once that flower has lost its nectar. Never. Right? And so he's also brought out, I'm looking at my notes. I like this one as well. I'm looking at my notes. We got 400 people live. You all make sure you hit that thumbs up. If you did not watch the beginning of this, you rewatch this video more than once. He says cash has to have trust connected. We talked about connections, collaborations, and celebrate. He also brought out Most people can't retire at the age that they want to retire because they don't understand how to leverage. They don't understand how to connect, to collaborate, and celebrate. Right? Let me put this image up for you. They don't understand how to connect, to collaborate, and then celebrate. So he said cash must have trust connected to it. And so what do they use on it to get you to trust it? They put "in God we trust" on it. Right? To get you to trust in this paper currency that has no backing to it. Right? No backing. This is what the first thing I thought about when I saw that collaborate, and celebrate was this logo that I see on trucks all the time. And I said, I'm going to have to do a logo similar to this, the number 1 CCC. I'm going to have to do something similar to this without any trademark infringement and make it my own. Right? It's a trucking logo. And you have to connect, collaborate, and then you celebrate. Solo money will be slow money. Let me say that again. Solo money is slow money. That's good. Let me write that down. Let me type this in a note. Solo money is slow money. Let me drop some notes because Brian is my mentor, right? I'm not Brian Beane, but I am Queen. I am Queen. Let me tell you what rich and wealthy people do. Rich and wealthy people, and I wasn't even planning on talking on this live stream. I had a very long mental day, but Brian just gave me strength to talk behind him, right? Which is not easy, by the way. And so let me drop these notes on you. Solo money is slow money. Wealthy people give each other ideas, right? So they can make money from poor people. Let me say that again. Wealthy people give each other ideas. They connect, they collaborate so they can celebrate. So that they can make money, right, off of poor people. They give poor people a consumer mindset. Brian broke this down as well. Brian, I'll get more people in the room. We almost have 500 people live. He broke this down as well. Every day is a day to take your money. Month is a month designed for people that live paycheck to paycheck. They're struggling. It's psychologically designed to take your money. January, celebrate New Year's. February, love month, Valentine's. Right? March, spring break. Right? Then we got April, and then we got St. Patty Day and April Fools. And May and June, Mother's Day and Father's Day. And then in May is graduation. I haven't even mentioned birthdays yet and anniversaries. All these occasions that wealthy people get at the round table and discuss ways to take your money. Then in June, I forgot they added Juneteenth, right? Let's give the Black and Brown community, let's take some more of their money before the 4th of July. So the Black and Brown community, in most cases, they celebrate beer and barbecue June through July, right? In June, they have on black, red, and green. In July, they flip it to red and blue and white. Fireworks, beer, barbecue, meat, whatever, right? We party, vacation, do whatever. And then in August is back to school time. So you got to go back to school shopping. September is Labor Day. October, where we're in now, what people going to do? Spend money on Halloween. And guess what? Then the church take it and say, oh, we're not going to call it Halloween. We're going to call it Holyween. Right? We call it Holyween. So then the religious institutions get involved in it. And they go out and buy candy too and be consumers as well. And then you have November. You got Black Friday, and I guess, what is the one before Black Friday? Is it Brown Thursday? I don't know. Such consumers, Thanksgiving, go out, buy the food, travel, see the family. And then you have Christmas, and then January starts all over again, right? So you have the financial predators versus the financial praise. P-R-E-Y, not P-R-A-Y, right? And so this is why you need credit, cash flow, not cash. It's a difference between cash flow and cash. Cash flow is generated from an asset, an income, an asset that you have, right? Warren Buffett said it this way: if you don't learn how to make money in your sleep, you'll work until you die. And then you have to understand capitalism. I just broke down capitalism. And you have to reprogram your mind to be a consumer every month. Another thing that Brian brought out in that interview, right? When he's riding in his BMW, nobody's pulling him over asking, can I buy that? Can I buy your Beamer or whatever? But when he ride in his antiques vehicles that appreciate, right? He gets offers all the time, and I've seen these vehicles and took pictures in them. And having assets, I think that's the biggest thing to multimillionaires and people that's doing things on a higher level than you. And the home-based business is only $228 for that assets. That's it. You can't even take Brian out to his style of lunch for $228 one-time investment. But this is the problem. See, a lot of people want the access before they go through the process. That was good. I can pat myself on the back. A lot of people just think they deserve the access. I was messaging someone today, communicating with them, and I told them, I said, it always amazes me how many people want free advice from me, right? That I labored for. They just want to get free advice, free. Or they feel like they have a right, they have an easy access to the money that I work hard to accumulate so that I can put my money in crypto investments. So now my money can work hard for me. You're not going to get easy access to my money. You cannot prick my brain at all. You can pay my brain. You cannot prick it, right? You cannot prick my brain. You can pay my brain. My time and my knowledge is too valuable for me to just spit game for free. Let me say that again. You cannot prick my brain, but you can pay my brain, right? 450 Club, welcome, says, I'm new here. Where can I start with crypto? Again, this coming in right on cue. I have a book for beginners, intermediate, and even advanced people. That's cashOnCrypto.com. Definitely start there. It's an e-booklet, and you will receive it via email, right? Receive it via email. So someone gave a super chat, Ian Morgan. Thank you for the $19.99 super chat. The number 19 is the combination of 10 and 9. It denotes God's perfect order in regard to his judgment in the Bible, right? So in the names, let me see. Let me get, before I say this. Give me 1 second. Number 9, Christ died at the 9th hour, right? Christ died at the 9th hour. Number 10 means law and responsibility. Law and responsibility. So it represents God's completeness or his perfect order in regard to his judgment in the Bible. Right? I'm trying to pull up my gematria calculator. I don't see the one that I use, but oftentimes, so I can't pull that up for some reason. And so God's perfect order, maybe I need to get on Google, right? And also, you all, I do want to tell you too that a hard financial winter is coming, right? A hard financial winter is coming. A very hard financial winter is coming. And let me share you. And if you're not prepared, and if you're not positioned, and you're not planning, right, I really hate it for you, right? So again, the number 19, it means prophecy, or I pity for you, right? But I'm not going to participate with you. That's good too. I pity for you, but I'm not going to participate with you, right? Yeah, I can. I probably will ask Brian to do a conference with me in the spring. We're gonna let this winter stuff um, do his thing, and I'm gonna ask him to come and do a conference with me. Give him time, and he's really busy right now with his land and his vision. So I'm gonna ask him like months and weeks ahead of time, right? Months and weeks ahead of time, because I would love for him to come in and break down his animal process, and for me to do numerology behind it. I think that would be really powerful, right? As I said about the number 19, in the promised land, right? The Israelite tribe received 19 cities. Their gift from God was in the northernmost part of what would be Israel, and this was around the Sea of Galilee. Let's go there real quick, because it's actually Joshua 19. And so even though the number 19 represents judgment of a thing, that judgment does not always have to be a harsh judgment. It depends on your decisions, right? That judgment does not always have to be a harsh judgment. It could be a judgment of blessings. Depends on your decisions, or guess what? It depends on your actions or your inactions. Some people don't invest in financial education. They just want to do something because somebody told them to do it. That might not, listen, I can't get on this live stream and tell people where to invest in crypto if they have money. I don't know your goal. Are you looking to hodl? Do you have cash flow where you can hold for the long-term gains? Or are you looking for a quick flip? You're looking to get out in 3 months. You want to invest 1K and think in 3 months you're going to be a millionaire? That won't happen. Right? What is your overall financial situation? How long can you hold? What are your goals? And then that requires a whole sit down and discussion. It's not something that you just can ask, right? I watched a video today. A man invested 16K in Cardano when it was 3 cents. 3 years later, it was $3 million. Right? Would you have 16K to get into crypto and hold it for 3 years until you become a millionaire when it hits its all-time high? So it depends on your mindset, depends on your financial situation, and it depends on your goals. So Joshua 19 for the 1999 super chat, right? Joshua 19:38 says, I probably butcher these names, but Aaron, Migdal, El, Horam, Beth Anath, and Beth Shemesh. There were 19 towns and their villages. 19, right? 19 towns and their villages, as this was their gift from God. 19 cities that they inherited as a gift from God. And so also 19 is land representation, inheritance as well, right? A gift from God, your inheritance. So make sure that whatever your combination of 10 and 19 is, and God's perfect order, as the number 10 is law and responsibility. That's why another thing that rich and wealthy people do is always give a tenth, either to a charity or an individual who's fulfilling them in the spiritual work of knowledge and understanding, in the work of spirituality, right? judgment in the Bible, like Job had judgment, like Eve. Those were not, Job's judgment ended up multiplying him in the end, but Eve's judgment was her downfall. Right? So the number 19 itself only appears 3 times in the Bible. There's Joshua 19 and 38, which I just showed you. Genesis 11, I love teaching on the Tower of Babel and the double 11, but Genesis 11 and around verse 25. Now you have 2 Samuel chapter 3. It's only mentioned 3 times in the Bible, the Trinity, right? Yes, and Morgan, that was another great thing he brought out. You must distinguish the parasite and the birds on your back. He was in reference to the rhino, right? In reference to the rhino. So with that being said, we're going to look at crypto. Bitcoin hit. Does anyone know why Bitcoin hit yesterday? Besides, everyone saying the ETF. Do you all know what else happened in the earth realm on yesterday with Bitcoin? As it said, it's cooling down 16,000 when it's high 66. Ether finally over that $4,000 mark. Congratulations to people that held onto their crypto, especially Bitcoin and Ether, the Twin Towers, right? The Jordan and Pippen, the 1-2 punch, right? The Twin Towers that had $231 million of gold and silver beneath it. And so does anyone know why, other than Bitcoin EFTs, what happened on yesterday that caused Bitcoin to get past 66,000 in the earth realm, right? Anyone knows? And as you all are typing that answer in, because this is the crypto and credit cash flow classroom, the World Bank sees significant inflation risk coming. Inflation is the tax for the middle class and the poor working class, because the rich already have their cash converted into assets, right? Only the poor middle class and the poor working class that's uneducated have their money in banks, right? And so I just noticed that this StreamYard has a different layout. I kind of like this, where I'm on the left side and the let me take this off real quick. See, I'm in the left corner, and the article is more expounded or enlarged in the background. So World Bank sees significant inflation risk from high energy prices. I just read something today that we're going to have higher energy prices in the winter and a lot of energy outages as well. So crude oil prices to average $70 a barrel. Energy prices is easing in the second half of 2022. Further price spikes possible near term. Energy prices are expected to inch up. It's going to inch up this winter, right? After surging more than 80% in 2021, right? We got gas prices, the highest it's been in 70 years. Global, people, this is global. It has to be global because this monetary reset is coming. And this is the first time I've actually heard Brian expound and educate on cryptocurrency as well. So I was so excited when he went into crypto and explaining how it's the people's currency, and the people have the power when it comes to currency all along. Whatever they say, so be it. Actually, that's on the dollar as well. Say it is so, right? Because they say the dollar is currency, then it's so be it. That's what's the currency system, and the same will happen with crypto. I also read this other article. Many religious type people always, I think, misquote and take this scripture out of context, that the love of money is the root of all evil, right? In the Bible. But the word love is never emphasized, right? To me, if you're working 2 or 3 jobs, you must love money. right? If you're unwilling to give to philanthropists or be a philanthropist and give to charities, like Brian tell his vision of helping battered women. See, these are things money can do, and helping children learn agriculture skills. I've been with Brian for 5 years, and I'm not going anywhere because of his vision, his heart, and his leadership. I'm not. He can go back to selling Nana juice. I don't like selling that, but I stick around for the leadership. And so you have this article in Jackson, Mississippi, saying that the crime problem is a poverty problem, right? The crime problem is a poverty problem. So people give to individuals that help them in the work of the spiritual work, help them with inspiration and knowledge, right? Inspiration, motivation, knowledge, education, right? So use the the positive power, and expect when you give to have big, happy financial surprises. When you give, expect to have big, happy financial surprises. When you invest, right? Expect to have big, happy financial surprises. Like yesterday on Bitcoin, you all still haven't answered my question about why, other than Bitcoin EFTs, did Bitcoin hit 66K yesterday? You know what? I won't say it publicly, but in my conference, for those who are coming to the conference, the website is on the screen, 111 Millionaire Moves. If you want to know about crypto, if you want to position yourself for this harsh financial winter, I'm going to show you how astrology and astronomy played a part in Bitcoin pumping on yesterday as well, right? So I will share that in the conference. So I'm logging off. I wasn't planning on speaking, but Brian did such a good job, and it's not easy speaking behind him, even on a live stream, that I had to speak and expound on some things. The 11:11 scripture for tonight, right? As the title here is prophecy of scripture, starts with 2 Peter 1:11. It says, and you will receive a rich welcome into the external kingdom of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Rich, RICH, right? So I will always remind you of these things, even though you know them and they are firmly established in truth. You now have, I think it is right, as then I tell you all to refresh and reset your mind. I think that it is right to refresh your memory as long as I live in the tent of this body, right? Because I know that I will soon put it aside, as our Lord and Jesus Christ has made it clear to me. I will make every effort to see that after my departure. And this is my leaving words to you: to receive a rich welcome in the external kingdom of the Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Understand that God is in you, within you. Ephesians 3:20. Now unto him that's able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we can ask or think. Psalms 84. Haven't I told you that you are God's? A child will explain it this way. A child will say, I can see God in the birds and the animals. I can see God in the grass. I can see God in the sun and the moon. And guess what? I can see God in me as well. We have 530 people right now on the live stream. I wish I had more to talk about. I really do, right? I have more to talk about because I don't want to drop the mic right here and leave you all hanging, but I had to do a lot of mental things to do. So I'm not physically fatigued. I'm mentally fatigued, right? I have to do a lot of things for some youth today. And one thing I never get tired of doing, and I pray I never get a mindset, is fighting for and doing things for youth, because They don't have a voice, or they don't understand things that goes on in this world to fight and protect themselves. Right? So children, for me, I always do what I have to do for youth, right? You all don't know, I coach and mentor young ladies. So I have to do a lot of mental things, a lot of, with them today to get some things established that they deserve. But other than that, with adults, I don't have pity on adults, because believe it or not, I have people that complain about $228 to get access to a multi-millionaire as Brian Beane. And I said this scripture, and I twist the scripture this way. People, be cautious how you entertain a stranger. The Bible says, because you may be talking to an angel unaware. Be careful how you entertain strangers. People, you may be talking to a millionaire unaware. And be careful how you approach a millionaire. Don't expect a millionaire to give to you until you give to that millionaire. You're totally out of alignment and out of order if you expect someone with money to give to you just because they have money. Jim Rohn says the best advice he would give anybody is that if you're looking for knowledge and wisdom, how to help yourself financially, emotionally, mentally, in your ministry or in your mission, is you go and pay a millionaire meal and give them the best meal and take them out to lunch so they can pour wisdom and knowledge into your lap. And that is nothing more than Luke 6:28. Give, and then it shall be given in good measure. In other words, you're never supposed to ask something, right, without giving something behind it. That's why the large crypto channels that have 1 million subscribers, they only acknowledge the people question that give the super chat. And don't believe me? Go on one of these go on Big Boy Crypto channel and just ask them randomly questions. Your questions won't even pop out because it's thousands of people on there at one time. And just like a question with a super chat can get multi-millionaires' attention, the same thing with God. Well, now, Queen, God hears the voice of the poor. He hears it was the widow woman. Her and her son was about to eat the cake and die. And I had someone to come on one of my live streams, I think it was this week, and said that she was told, it was a woman, that is the best time to give is out of a crisis or out of an emergency or out of your lack. People, let me tell you this. That is never the best time to give, and that is never the best time to pray out of an emergency, out of your poverty, out of your lack. See, if you're flying on an airplane that's about to crash, everybody is going to think pray. That's not the situation you want to think about prayer in. When your life is on the line, near-death experience, when your bank account is in the negative, when you're hungry, you don't want to say prayers out of emergencies. Because with God, with the infinite God, infinite power, everything has a time and a season. And you can only hope that if you pray out of an emergency, that it's going to be your season for your prayer to get answered. So prepare, plan, and invest in financial education, right? And don't take it for granted when you are in the presence of millionaires or billionaires. Just because they act like normal people, they have done supernatural things. And stop treating people that's millionaires and billionaire status as if they're normal. They're not normal. They've done something that 5% of the population, 95% of the population cannot do. So when I'm in the presence of Brian, I try not to waste questions and waste time asking petty things. I want to make sure I'm asking questions that's going to grow me mentally, or I'm either taking notes. Like he was talking, I was right here taking notes. I don't waste the time to learn from someone who's on a higher financial level than me. And with me saying that, you all, please stop messaging me on my platforms, other videos, Facebook, texting me. I appreciate if you're emailing me something, but I don't have a lot of time just to go through all my inboxes, right? And don't ask me for free information. Free never said anybody free, right? And so give thanks for quick and substantial increases for those who have given in your finances right now. Give thanks for immediate, complete payment of all your financial obligations now. Be thankful that vast improvements quickly in every phase of your life are coming to you and reaching you now every day in every way. And listen at this. You are not meant ever to be in bondage. God said he came to set the captives free to anything, mentally, emotionally, financially, right? You're not designed that way. So I always ask for infinite power, infinite direction. If you're in bondage to anything, I'm going to tell you this and I'm logging off, right? If you want to come to the conference, the deadline to register will be November the 6th. I'm going to say this, I'm logging off. There was a man who had so many illness and ailments, and he continued, like the woman with the issue of blood almost. And he continued to see this doctor, but he continued to pray in spite of and kept his faith, his belief level. And the one week that he had a doctor's appointment, his doctor that he was seeing for months at a time just so happened to go out of town on vacation, right? So he was assigned to this other doctor who believed in large doses of vitamin and giving his clients large doses of vitamin for health and healing. He visited this doctor by cohappenstance that his primary doctor was out of town, out of state on vacation, or taking a trip rather, right? Brian says poor people take vacations, rich people take trips. The doctor gave him large doses of vitamin, right? Because prescriptions never cured anything. You do know that, right? Prescriptions never cured anything. And this man had been struggling with this illness for months and years at a time was healed. The infinite God will remove some people out of the way to get you your healing, your finances, your health, your wealth, your happiness, your joy, your peace, your prosperity, your perfect health. But the main person that has to be moved out of the way is your old mindset. New money cannot be poured into old mindset. New money cannot be poured into an old mindset, just point blank. And people often get comfortable with people on a larger financial level than them because, you know, because we dress normal, we look normal, but we are not normal, right? We're not normal. And so take advantage of a live stream by people that have gone where you're going. Take advantage of the knowledge and the wisdom, the access, the ability to text somebody's phone, the ability for them to call you. We got a 4111 code. It just jumped to 428. I want to find a 411 scripture. Thank you, Donald. Donald, always a giver. He texted me today, said, Queen, I got my book. His autographed copy in the book. And He waited because I had a different version, and he waited without complaint. I said, Donald, him, and one of my other great supporters, Gwen, I said, I want to give you all another version that I have. And they waited, weeks, and they didn't complain. But I saw 4111 come up, and I want to share this with you as Donald Gill and the person that also gave in his live stream. He told them the secret of the kingdom of God has been given to you, but to those on the outside, everything is said in parables. Let me see if I can switch this screen yard and flip okay, now it's back to the way it was. Mark 4:11. I saw the 411. It's 4661 now, but when I saw that, the scripture was the first one I thought about. People, position yourself for prosperity. Donald says full moon in Aries, hunter's moon, and Jupiter and Mercury, 2 transits came out of retrograde. Thank you, Don. I just saw that, and I just thought about that. That's the real reason why Bitcoin pumped yesterday. And Donald even texted me and said, Queen, do you see the 666 in Bitcoin? Not that Bitcoin is the mark of the beast. No, the 666 mean that on the 6th day, God said it's very good, right? Bitcoin will not be on your forehead or your RFID chip unless they make it that way as a payment method. But the Bible does says the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. And if you're going to get the wicked's wealth, you got to know where to invest in. You got to know where their money is stashed. Other than that, you're not going to get that transfer. It's just not going to fall into your lap. The rich and wealthy people already know about crypto. They already know about cash flow. They already know about the power of a home-based business. Rich and wealthy people already know these things. They appreciate their mental health, their physical health. They're like the hummingbirds, right? If you run out of nectar, they don't return to the same flower. A hard financial winter is coming. And this is why I was trying to tell people that flip cryptocurrency. I'm like, you are flipping cryptocurrency for cash. I don't understand it. Let me do this. You are actually taking an asset like crypto, 9,000% return, and you want this that's going to do this by March of 20. This is what this is going to look like by next year. This is what you're giving up your crypto for? No, maybe you're giving up your crypto for your Lambo. Maybe that's it. Then after 3 years after it, you're going to be like T-Pain. And then you have these mechanic issues and you can't afford it anyway. And by the time you give it back to the, you turn it back in, right, it depreciated. Yeah, watch T-Pain's story. It's things like this is what I share with youth about how T-Pain went broke. Now you want the Lambo. You want the cash that's about to be destructed. You want this for crypto? Now, I do get it that sometimes you're going to take your gains. But if you're going to take your gains, people, and you're going to convert it back to cash, convert that cash into assets. Tangible land, like Brian mentioned. Gold, silver, multi-units. Be a landlord. Right? And have a small percent of cash reserves on the side in case the banks does crash. As December, a lot of commercial banks are going to shut down. So it's better to at least have it in your possessions than to have it sitting in the banks that's about to crash. You might not ever get access to it. Exxon is weighing whether to drop some of its biggest oil projects. See, people? Uh-huh. Natural gas prices are going to go up. That's why you paying $4 or $5 at the pump right now. Winter is coming. Your energy bill, your natural gas bill. That's why California is getting rid of gas lawnmowers and gas stoves. Why, and that's just evil. You get rid of gas stove, and you know that there might be some electrical issues, and how this is going to hurt people from having heat in their home. Right? $22 billion in loss in 2020. This means a lot of workers that make six-figure incomes on the oil rigs, jobs are up. Still have shipping, exporting problems. Kamala Harris have already told you off. If you want Christmas gifts, you better get them early. Right? And if you're not part of the home-based business and you're not giving yourself an instant pay raise, to do nothing more than to get more crypto, get more assets in your portfolio. So you can do more than invest in 5,000 and 10,000. So you can put some real money to cryptocurrency so you can become a millionaire, a billionaire. Then why are you waiting? Text HBB to 601-720-2063. My next move from being around Brian is going to be buying tangible land. And I aspire to do exactly what he's doing with his property. That's going to be my vision as well. But I got to collaborate. I got to connect, and then I celebrate. I collaborate, and then I connect, and then I celebrate. That's the 1CCC code. Hey, you all, I'm signing off, right? I'm signing off. As Les Brown would say, it has been a plum-pleasing pleasure to live stream and talk with you all. Thank you all so much. Thank you for my new subscribers. The channel is like at 30,500. Has grown in about 2 weeks from 28,000 subscribers to over 2,800 people subscribing. So thank you all for the education, for loving the education information. And so you can have celebration, right? And thanks everyone who purchased the autographed copy of my book, My Millionaire Notes. I do have some more copies in. So if you want an autographed copy of the book, this is my Spanish version, but I do have my English version over there. You can Cash App 2111. In the for section, make sure that you put your name, because a lot of Cash App doesn't have your name. Some of them don't. They have, just a Cash App name. Like my Cash App doesn't have my name. It has LD Financial Coaching. 2111, your name and the mailing address. And make sure it's a complete mailing address that includes the zip code. Right? Make sure that it is a complete mailing address that includes the zip code. I want to find another 11 scripture. This is my second 11:11. Let me find another 11:11 scripture. Let's do this. 11 promises of God that he wants you to walk in and live by. What about that? We're going to flip it up. 11 promises of God that he wants you to walk in and live by. Let's do Psalms 27:10, 7, 8, 9, 10. Means a perfect number, right? Completion, perfection, perfect number. And that you are never alone. Psalms 29:10. You are never alone. 11 promises of God. I don't know if I'm going to break that down at the conference or not, right? But Psalms 27:10 says, though my father and mother forsook me, the Lord, right, will receive me. The Lord receives your offering. He receives your heart. He sits high, but he looks real low. And I pray that, and why I pray about prosperity all the time, because I'm prosperous. Believe it or not, I don't get on here and put my portfolio out there, right? But I'm prosperous, and I pray that same prosperity upon you. Um, I bless all that I have, all that I hope to have now, and the same blessings I bestow upon you and speak upon you as well, right? I bless all that I have, and I look with wonder of how to increase everything that I have now. And I pray that same blessings of wonder and increase in you in every aspect of your life, right? So I'm signing out. Thank you all. Thank you for the super chats. And listen, how big can you think, right? How big can you think? Magnify your mind, manifest with your mouth. The power of life and death is in your tongue. So speak and give positive affirmations as you give, right? Multiply your money and maximize your mission in life. Be blessed to be a blessing. Queen out. Great day for Thalamus coming in. Thank you so much. Thalamus coming in. And as let me share this with Nino Brown. This gonna be, I know I've closed a lot of time. Somebody just gave a cash out, but even Nino Brown knows the 1111. Even Nino Brown knows the power of the 1111. Let me share that with you. Where's that? And then I'm really logging out, but I'm gonna let Nino Brown preach it to you and teach it to you as you are giving into the 1111, right?
Just because you think you deserve something, just because you think you worthy of something, God might just be protecting you of the things that's controlled by the enemy. Let me tell you something. God is the truth, baby. God is the truth. And anything sent by the enemy always attached to a hidden agenda, always attached to negative energy. And when you get these worldly possessions and these things you thought you want, you're going to learn a big lesson. It was what you thought you wanted, but it wasn't what you needed, baby. When God says your time, when God say he finna bless you, he gonna test you. It's always a testing connected to the blessing. And the more you pray to him, the more you serve him, the more you are loyal to him. I want you to understand one thing, baby. He gonna always reward you. A lot of y'all complain about having it hard. A lot of y'all sit around and hate. A lot of y'all sit around and blame other people for your downfall. A lot of y'all sit around and complain.
Hold on, that couldn't be the clip. Give me a second, because he says specifically. Let me see what clip that was.
Just because you think you.
Give me 1 second. He said specifically 11. Did you all hear 1111? Maybe I didn't hear it. Did you all hear it? If not, that must not be the clip. I'm gonna let Nino Brown speak the blessing over you. Did you all hear it? If not, if you did, then we good. Thank you, Sparkle Windows CEO Lifestyle out of Texas for the. Did you all hear it? If not, I'm gonna play it again. Right, the $55 super chat. Right. Did you know that the Apostle Paul? I tell you all that Jesus started his ministry in 26 A.D., which is September 11th. But in 55 A.D., Apostle Paul was staying in Ephesus preaching the gospel, and that was his third, number three, the highest of the Trinity, right? The power of three, third three Masonry, right? 33 degrees where ice turns into water. But that was his third missionary journey. And he wrote 100 chapters in the first 15 books of the Bible. But the last 11 of these was Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, First and Second Thessalonians. Those are 8. First and Second Timothy is 10. Then Titus, Philemon, and Hebrews. All of those add up to 55 total chapters, right? And the only biblical books to have 55 or more chapters is Psalms and Isaiah, right? And so, yeah, Psalms and Isaiah, Psalms and Isaiah. So with that, 5 means victory in war, and it means the double grace of God, right? The double grace of God upon you, and it simultaneously represents victory, and double victory and double war as well. So thank you all, thank you. I'm trying to see, did I play the right clip? Maybe I didn't, but we're getting a little late on this live stream. I'm gonna play it again. I'm gonna see if I hear it this time. Right, it's like less than a minute. If we don't hear it this time, then I have to find it. But thank you to everyone that gave on the super chat. Peace, love, and blessings to you. I pray that the infinite spirit, infinite power bring that back to you by divine right and great avalanches of wealth, by divine right, with good of all concern. I believe somebody's going to get a $10,000 blessing, like surprise. I've been saying 10,000 a lot. It's just been in my spirit this week. I don't know if it's going to be from your investments or supernaturally unexpected. For those who are giving, I can't wait to hear that 10,000 K testimony. And all that the rich substance of this universe has for you now comes to you speedily, richly, and freely, right? My rich good now comes. I want you all to say this live, right? Say this loud while you are watching live is what I'm trying to say. That my rich good comes to me quickly and in peace now, right? My rich good comes to me quickly and in peace now. Everyone that gave, say that loud, aloud. The power of life or death is in your tongue. My rich good comes to me quickly and in peace now. So let me see if Nino's saying 11:11 on this one. Maybe this is the clip. Let's see.
When God say it's your time, when God say He finna bless you, He gonna test you. It's always a testing connected to the blessing. And the more you pray to Him, the more you serve Him, the more you are loyal to Him. I want you to understand one thing, baby. He gonna always reward you. A lot of y'all complain about having it hard. A lot of y'all sit around and hate. A lot of y'all sit around and blame other people for your downfall. A lot of y'all sit around and complain. But you ain't typing 11:11 in the comments right now. You know why? Because you ain't ready for the blessing. Because
I knew I had a clip that Nino Brown said, you ain't typing 11:11 in the comments right now. He said, because you ain't ready. You ain't ready for the blessings. But I got some people ready. And thank you for the cash app. Someone just ordered a copy of the autograph book. Definitely will put that in speedily. Let me call by name. This goes to you as well. It's the Dawson. And Tiara, Queen. Got you, Tiara. Thank you so much. They also had something about Bitcoin on here. I was looking at on my cash app as well. Looking at Bitcoin. And no, Leona Dawson signed up for the live stream. I'm sorry. Tiara did the autograph book. So Leona Dawson, thank you for live streaming the conference again, November 12th through the 14th. Go to 111 Millionaire Moves to find out more and be ready for the blessings, you all. Thank you so much. Yeah, Nino Brown will crack you up, but he tells the truth in a very straightforward, non-biblical way. He teaches the Bible in a very straightforward, non-biblical format, and I love it. He really connects real life. All right, you all, that's it. I had to share the 11:11 blessings with you. If you watch this on the replay, type in 11:11 and comment. Queen out. You all be safe and be blessed. Don't forget to say your affirmation. My rich good comes to me now, quickly and in peace. Queen out.